Like the sequel to a horror film, the politicians in Washington are talking about another stimulus. Only this time, realizing that taxpayers are going to be even more skeptical after the failure of last year's $787 billion boondoggle, they'll call it a jobs bill or something like that. I suppose we could quote Shakespeare's line, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." But a better analogy is that giving stimulus a new name is like putting perfume on a hog. You can mask the stench, but it's still there. I'm Dan Mitchell of the Cato Institute. This Center for Freedom and Prosperity video is going to revisit the stimulus issue and ask whether there's any reason to further increase the burden of government spending. We've already done a video explaining why Keynesian economics is wrong, and we have another video that dissected last year's so-called stimulus, and we even produced a video showing the policies that would generate growth. So let's limit ourselves in this video to two questions. First, is there any reason to think that Obama's first stimulus created jobs? The quick answer is no. But don't take my word for it. Let's look at the predictions made by the White House. Early last year, as the chart indicates, the administration said that doing nothing would mean an unemployment rate of 9%, but that we could limit the unemployment rate to 8% by spending $787 billion. Let's now modify the chart by putting in what's actually happened since the so-called stimulus was adopted. As you can see, the unemployment rate is not 8%, which is what the White House promised. Instead, it climbed to 10%, 1 percentage point higher than Obama claimed would be the case if no bill was passed. Another way to measure the effect is to look at total employment. As these Department of Labor figures show, total employment has dropped significantly since the so-called stimulus was adopted. That's hardly a ringing endorsement for the administration's big government approach. The White House, however, claims that hundreds of thousands of jobs have been created. How do they get away with such a claim, you ask? Simple. They've concocted a new methodology based not just on jobs created, but also on jobs saved. The advantage of this approach is that there are no objective benchmarks. Unemployment could climb to 15%, but Obama's people can always say there will be several 100,000 fewer jobs without all the added government spending. That's a pretty neat trick, isn't it? But these Center for Freedom and Prosperity videos are nonpartisan, so let's now point out a few things that may irritate our Republicans in the audience. It takes time for an administration to implement changes that impact the economy's performance. Reagan took office, for instance, in early 1981 during an economic crisis, and it took about 2 years for his policies to rejuvenate the economy. It certainly seems fair to also give Obama time to get the economy moving again. That being said, I'm not overly optimistic. Reagan reversed the big government policies of his predecessor. Obama, by contrast, is continuing Bush's big government approach. Heck, the only real difference in their economic policies is that Bush was a borrow and spender interventionist, and Obama is a tax and spender interventionist. Now let's go to the second question. Since last year's stimulus was a flop, isn't the administration making a big mistake by doing the same thing all over again? I'm not privy to White House strategy sessions, as you can imagine, but I think the president's people actually are being clever. We know that recessions don't last forever. Indeed, the average recession lasts only about 1 year. And since this downturn began back in late 2007, we're due for a recovery. Heck, the recession may actually already be over, particularly by the time you're watching this video. So let's consider the political incentives for this administration. Last year's stimulus was a flop, especially since the White House said it would keep unemployment below 8% and instead it jumped to 10%. So if the economy recovers this year, as almost certainly will be the case, it's going to be difficult for Obama to claim this was because of a pork-filled spending bill adopted early last year. But if the White House can push through another bill, that puts them in a position to take credit for a recovery that was going to happen anyway. Now that may be smart politics, but it's not good economics. The issue has never been whether the economy would climb out of recession. The real challenge has been, and still is, whether the economy will enjoy good growth once the recovery begins. My concern is that the Obama administration policies of bigger government, combined with the Bush administration policies of bigger government, will permanently lower the baseline growth of the United States. And guess what? If America becomes a big government welfare state like France, then it's quite likely that we're going to suffer from French-style stagnation and lower living standards. On that cheerful note, I'm Dan Mitchell. Thanks for watching this Center for Freedom and Prosperity video. Your job, pretty please, is to share this video with your friends and colleagues.